This is the consultation area, with the 4 consulted properties in colour and the other nearby buildings in black and white. The new vicarage, where the current vicar of Thornbury lives, Glebe Cottage, where the landowner resides, and St Mary's School. I believe that the old vicarage was owned by the council but no longer is. I think its use is as offices, not as a residence, but I am ready to be corrected on this. West Lodge is at the entrance to Thornbury Castle. I don't think it is lived in, but I may be wrong. The church is well used, and it would likely be the vicar who responded on behalf of the church. The schoolhouse presumably houses the school caretaker, who is employed to serve an Anglican school. Of course, letters are not the only way that public consultation takes place. Public notices and newspaper advertisements are also part of the process. 4 letters were received about the proposed felling. 3 opposed it. Notice the terminology. They referred to the beauty that the tree gave rather than the official term amenity. They also wanted a second opinion about the danger to the public and stated a preference for surgery rather than felling. There was a petition against the felling. If more recent events are typical, a wider circulated petition would have received more than 16 signatures. There was only 1 letter in favour of the felling. This unnamed individual said that the tree must be felled, and used the legal term, a duty of care. Remember that, a duty of care. The owner had a duty of care to the general public. Of course, the council went ahead and approved the felling of the tree. It was chopped down in January 2009, and you can read the Thornbury Gazette report online. The paper took a quote from someone, but not the landowner, but rather the vicar, David Primrose, who mentioned a duty of care to those passing by. A duty of care, eh? But despite its supposed risk to the public, he was sad to see it go. As was Sue Adams, with interested parties seeming to sing from the same hymn sheet. Note also how Sue Adams seems to write with certainty, way back in July 2008, that the tree will be felled, when all she is doing is making a recommendation at that stage. But what is the risk to the public posed by trees? About 6 people are killed in the UK each year by falling trees or branches. That is the equivalent of a 1 in 20 million risk. The Health and Safety Executive says that a 1 in 1 million risk is acceptable. The reality is that you are more likely to die from a lightning strike. You are more likely to win the lottery. You are much more likely to be killed in a road traffic accident with a 1 in 17,000 risk. While 6 people are killed by trees each year, about 650 die from falling down steps and stairs. The problem is that freak deaths from falling trees are very newsworthy. The National Tree Safety Group was recently formed, with founder members including the Forestry Commission, the Arboricultural Association, the Woodland Trust, English Heritage, and the London Tree Officers Association. Amongst other things, it noted the very low risk of injury or death, the disproportionate response to such incidents, and the danger of unnecessary tree removals. At the Images of Thornbury website, you can see these before, during, and after photos. However, sycamores do not die easily, and they are likely to regenerate and put out suckers. See what I mean? And even though they can cut the suckers back, they will keep growing. What intrigues me is the continuing relationship that the church has with Glebe Field, having held a church fete and strawberry cream tea there, both events seemingly connected with fundraising for the church reordering. Here's another soundbite from the vicar from the same newspaper article. Notice how he uses the tree to make some connection with the past historic church interior and the future modern reordered interior. If he has acquired timber from the felled tree for use in the reordering of the church, then I hope he felt a duty to pay for it of an amount that represented a sufficient consideration. There was also a petition against the reordering, which will involve the removal of pews inside the church. Over 400 people signed. At the start of the reordering process, a document called the Statement of Significance and Statement of Needs was prepared. In the document it has two photos. One shows the interior and the pews, and the other shows a tree-obscured view of the church from some distance. Quite what that has to do with the reordering is not clear. Perhaps there is some connection between the felling and reordering. They both impact on the appearance of the church. They both had an element of public opposition. They both had petitions which have been ignored. The vicar has been at hand to give sound bites to the media. And in both cases the council and church appear to agree. Or at the very least I have not heard any murmurings against the reordering emanating from South Gloucestershire Council. In 2004, the council drew up a strategy for the Thornbury conservation area. It seeks to ensure that the views of the church tower are retained and protected. As we have seen, a tree can get in the way. Now that the tree is gone, there could be alternative uses made of the land, but it is probably restricted by covenant. So the tree came down either because of danger to the public or to improve the views of the church. You can decide. For my part, I just wonder, what is happening to the trees in Thornbury?
If you love me, come this way.